for something a bit more lighthearted, Peter, do you want to talk us through the key organisational performance report?
Am I going to live up to that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can live up to it because this is so steady that there's actually not a great deal to report. Levels of service, watch list capital projects, OPEX financials all on track and very steady with last month. In fact, the last 3 to 4 months. So the results you see there in front of you are actually probably pretty indicative of what you'll get for year end. There may be a little volatility towards year end as some of the audit results come in, but by and large, I would expect that what you're seeing there is how we'll finish the year. Some of the non-key projects remain off track, and that's obviously having an effect on the overall budget spend. Otherwise, organisational performance results pretty steady. So there it is in 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Now, just to note, we've got 2 additional, I think, the attachments.
We do. Because that is an automated product and the 2 systems were not talking to each other very well, there is an amended diagram that is more accurate. It doesn't show any difference from previous months, the corrected version. Now that we understand how the automation glitch works, I don't expect that one will be repeated.
Great. No problem. Does anyone have any questions for Peter? Noting we've got detailed reports coming next as well. Yanni.
Just on page 26, appreciate the work that's gone in, but in terms of the response, in terms of percentage of real water loss from council's water supply reticulated network, the comments are actually really hard to understand. I was just wondering if someone could explain. All leaks reported under the water loss contract have not been repaired by the maintenance contractor, thus resulting to no secondary tests for candidate zones. Most results for candidate zones are higher than previous results. I have absolutely zero idea what that means. Can someone just put it in simple English to understand what's happening around fixing the water leaks?
I can't translate that for you. It's too technical. But perhaps Brent can.
Yeah, Brent might be able to add something.
And I might have to get some interpretation of it as well for you.
I'm happy just to get a memo. Yeah. I know in the past around water leaks, staff have actually sent through a really good memo that shows the response times to the complaints and the backlog of leaks. And I'm just, I guess, really keen to understand.
We'll get an update on that previous work, and there's a lot of different things affecting the leaks in terms of the state of the pipes and the workload for the contractors. So I'll get an update out to you.
Yeah, and can it be in simple English? Like easy to understand.
More words.
No, stop. No.
That's okay, we'll do that because the reasons for it are quite technical in some areas, so we'll get that done and a lot easier to understand.
Okay, thanks.
Tyler.
Kia ora. Actually, for the water team too. Just on that, I just want to take this offline, but I've just got a question to see if you're able to tell me the process around the leakages and how fast they get addressed. We had an issue on Main South Road that lasted for 5 months before it got action, so I was just a little bit worried about that. So if we can get a process, that'd be great.
I can contact you offline.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
I was just going to say that actually relates to the test that we're running at Rafiti zone that's reducing the pressure, which actually has an effect on reducing the leakage. So we're obviously looking for another zone. And my question was around the exemption that we've lodged with Taumata Ottawa in September 22nd. Have we got any idea of when we might hear anything back from them? It's a long time.
We have checked again last week. We still haven't heard, but you'll be the first to know when we get it in. We haven't had a response back yet.
Right, and just looking at also on page 26, our water consumption is still not down to the target of 215 litres a day per resident. We're still at 267, and stating that the excess charges are expected to help that. But moving into the wet season now, would it be logical to expect that we would need that to run through the following demand season over the Christmas period to get a really good picture of whether that's going to work or not?
Yeah, you'd be correct. I mean, any stats you look at are better over a longer period of time. The obviously the higher water uses during the summer periods, but we would expect it to be dropping through the winter anyway, and we'll be able to present those figures back to council when we get it over the 12 months.
Great, thank you. And also just noting on page 31, the cycling counts are pretty good. They're coming up pretty close to what the target is, at 11,272 a day with a target of 12,500. And that's trending up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Yanni?
Just in regards to the footpath assessment, like we obviously don't know the condition of our footpaths, and you're working through with the university, and you're talking about having like bespoke buggies and things. Are you talking to New Zealand Post who actually go through most of our roads? So rather than having a separate person go out, is that something that you've considered? Or I thought we were going to get, because other people have raised also previously things like rubbish trucks that go to every street. So is it possible just to get a sense of, again, like a memo or just a response, would not today would be fine, but what we're looking at in terms of those options? Because I was just concerned to think that there's other people that do go on our footpaths, like the postal service, that may be a more cost-effective way.
So I can tell you that today that staff are looking at all the options out there, all of the organisations that we could partner with, and when we have a solution and we have gone through that, we will come back and let you know where we're going.
Okay.
Great. Any other questions? Tim looks like he's wanting to move this. And I think Tyler's happy to second it. Any discussion? All in favour? Against? It's carried. Thank you. Great. Thank you, Peter.
Cheers.